Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and we are here in Charles City, Virginia, here at New Vine Baptist Church. And if you haven't been following it, we are on a challenge to install and help modernize 50 ministries in 2025. This is install number 4. So hopefully you can join me on this series of videos where we're transforming churches. And like I said, we're here in Charles City, Virginia, here at New Vine Baptist Church. We've done some work with them. These are some friends of the family, and we built a custom computer for them a few years ago. And at this point, they have their sound system in a closet. We're going to be relocating that into their balcony and make it into an actual media area, not building out anything, but just relocating everything. We're going to be installing the PTZ camera so they can have some more motion with the camera that they have, upgrading their ATEM Mini Pro to an ATEM Mini Extreme, get some wiring going to all the TVs. We're going to be hanging two 75s in the front, as well as another TV in the rear, so they can actually see everything that's going on in the sanctuary. They already have video in the fellowship hall, but we're going to be extending all of that stuff and just setting them up for the future. So let me take you inside here and show you what we got. We've already loaded up, well, unpacked everything here. And like I said, back here, we fixed an extension here for this television. So what we're gonna do, and I think we actually built them another computer. It's been so many times I've done stuff I forgot, but we're gonna be changing out the distribution here. If possible, I think we may maintain this, but we do have a fiber optic HDMI cable to get a feed. This is feeding from the television right now. I mean the camcorder in the sanctuary, but right now I believe it's SD. So we're gonna be upgrading this to 1080p. And if we go back this way, I need him to unlock that for me as well. But in here is the sound system. So all of this stuff, we're gonna pull all of that out and bring it. Got to figure out how to run everything, but we're gonna come in here into the sanctuary, and we're gonna be flanking either side of the window here. I believe that's a baptismal. We're going to be putting a 75 here and a 75 there, as well as back here. Now this ceiling is low, so I don't want to put a camera this low to tempt people to come up here. Like, I'm just standing and I can touch the bottom of this, so if we hang a camera down, it's going to be too low. Most likely I want to move it up even higher, almost to where the clock is. But then now that we put a TV here, we have to build out something here to be able to anchor into this so that we can put the TV a little bit higher. And that's the camcorder that they have, a Sony, that we're going to be replacing with our PTZ. So let's go upstairs here for half a second. So up here is an impromptu kind of media area. So they already have a desk here. Probably gonna get something a little bit bigger here, and there's an all-in-one. We're gonna gut that, and the PC that I built them is gonna go up here. So we ran these cables a while ago, so we already got internet coming up here, so I don't have to run anything for that. We do have distribution that's going to the other locations. So let me see, how is that ran? I think I gotta remember how this was ran. I don't recall what that extender, Wi-Fi extender is, but we're gonna see about putting maybe like a 6-foot table here and get some more space. We definitely need another standalone monitor for the multi-view, but that's the plan. And we're gonna see how we're gonna anchor, like I said, the TV into this so that it could easily be seen. As much as I don't want to, could put it on the side, could put it over here, because it's going to be for everybody on the pulpit. But from a choir standpoint, I wouldn't want them to look to the right or left to see anything. But we'll figure this part out later. And we have ran cables in the ceiling. Obviously we did all of that. So we got to figure out how we're going to run all the cables pretty much from the American flag on the other side and come all the way back to here, and we're probably going to cut over here because I have ran stuff across here. So we're going to have to cut over in this direction. I might just come out, go over, and then come from here over here, since this is the area where everything is going to be. But we got our hands full. This is stop number 2. I was in the ceiling doing putting some outlets for some TVs at Bethlehem this morning. So I'm gonna try and stand up as long as possible because I was arched over and my back was hurting. So anyway, let's see. Well, let me get Pastor Travis to open up the rooms here, and then we'll move the computer, but I'll show you what we're actually looking at with the board. All right, so we're in the closet, and this is where the sound system is. This is the one we're going to be relocating and moving to the back. Y'all laugh at me. I'm telling you, a lot of people have that. So most likely not going to be used. This amp is going to be powered. If that's hooked up, I haven't looked up behind there, but the idea is everything is going to stay the same. Just from amps, all I got to do is mark off where all the connections are, and we split that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 connections. So that's for 3 of the XLR to Ethernet extenders, and then we have another 4 for the connections here. This is not going to be needed because all of the stuff is going to be in the back. Yeah, so I'm going to try and keep these exactly the same way they are. So I'm going to mark these off, and then we're going to pull this out, move the board up. The other computer I built, Pastor said he has that at home, so he's going to bring that here. So this is obviously going to be a day 2 and possibly a day 3. But the main thing is I'm going to have to open up a hole in the wall, in the ceiling, and then find out how to get to the cables there. And I need to let him know about, just like I was doing at Bethlehem Baptist Church, outlets for the TVs. And then he also said he wants to run a TV in his office, so we're going to put another TV on the other side of here. So that's just popping a hole in here because the ceiling is lower, go up and over. And I'm thinking about maybe putting the HDMI splitter back here, and then I won't have, all I have to do is run one connection from up in the booth this way, and then all of the TVs here are close, so I don't have to worry about running super long cables everywhere. So one cable, I'll probably run 2 as a backup. That will be here, that will feed the HDMI splitter. Then the TVs are on the other side of this wall. I'll put another local splitter up in the booth, so that would go to the TV that's there. And as much as I don't want to undo work that I did, that Cat 6 to HDMI extender that was going here, I can do away with that because I can just run another cable here to there and we'll be closer. So I think I'm probably going to do that. So a lot of this stuff we're gonna have to move out of the way. So let's start. I need to get my marker so I can mark that first, all of the connections, and then let's get to work. Alrighty, like I said, we've used these before, and I've already marked these. We're gonna connect, go by 4 at a time. 3 of these would take up all the channels, and then we hook these up and run an Ethercon or shielded Cat 5e cable, and then that's what we're gonna run up under here most likely, because that's the back wall right there, because it looks like this is an addition to the church, but we find the route to go up, and that's where that's gonna go. So let's hook these up. Got most of the stuff out of here. Everything else is gonna stay here. Personally, I would prefer to move the wireless in the media booth, and I might actually do that, but all this other stuff we're about ready to take upstairs. Gotta relocate those upstairs too. Oh well, I'll get the rest of the cables. Alrighty, so we got everything here. I just slid this over. They're going to get a 6-foot table here, and most likely the TV is going to be mounted here. So we're going to put some backing board or something, maybe like I measured this off, but a couple of 2x4s that will give me something structurally to nail into, screw into for right there. So the TV. And I hooked, I forgot that I ran this, and I know the multicolored cables. So I actually ran multiple connections. So there's already an internet connection coming back here. So I have since, let me make sure, because I have a network connection on here. Yeah, she is slow. So when the computer that I built is here, that should give us a little faster. And I did bring my laptop here, but we got everything here. We're gonna connect those outs to this, which will feed the signal going back to the back. And then that's it. So I am gonna probably move those wireless up here as well too. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and mount the camera. Because a lot of the work is going to be me pulling the cables, but I'm going to get that stuff out of the way, then come back, get some wood for the mounting up there. But let's go ahead and hang this camera, because that's going to be the easiest thing to do out of everything. Camera hooked up, and I temporarily hooked it up to the TV in the fellowship hall. So let me come over here, and there we go. We got a good image. I just got to hook up the joystick, and that's fine. So I was just pointing it blind, but we got an image. So let's hook up the joystick, break out my laptop, get it configured, and then we can focus on TV mounts and all that fun stuff. Alright, so right now I got the ATEM and everything set up, the multi-view in there. Have them messing with the joystick a little bit just to get comfortable with moving it around. And as you can see, it's going ahead and going back and forth with the joystick, so that's good. What I'm gonna do now is most likely, like I said, that HDMI splitter is probably going to live back here, because that would make it easier, because I already ran the extender. So I think what I'm going to do is relocate that HDMI extender, which is right there behind there, or I'm going to place this in here or somewhere close, and then I'll feed off of that, and then the cables for the TVs will go this way. And well, actually it'll probably be easier to go here because the TV and this wall is right there, and then pastor's office will be straight, and then I'll put my other 1x2 HDMI splitter that I had left over. I'll split that signal before it goes to the extender, so that I can go to the TV right there. So that's what I'll probably do to be wise in pulling the cables. Now I also have the sound system set up, so we need to test to make sure that that's all working as well too. Alright, so I ran the cable on the floor right now, put the HDMI splitter in the back, and so yeah, we got a signal, just a proof of concept. What I'm going to focus on maybe today is at least mark where the studs are and measure over where the TV is going to be. But hanging the TVs, I might see if I can hang the TV today to get that out of the way while I have help. But then mainly focus maybe tomorrow with relocating the cables in the ceiling. But I need to get some sound as well too. Alrighty, so I think I'm gonna have to do the same thing I was looking at doing upstairs. I went through here and I'm getting some inconsistent readings on where studs are. So that center right there is a stud, but then the next stud is all the way over here and here, so it's not even. So I'm thinking about those in struts like I used at Oxford. They are wide enough, and for whatever reason, this stud, this mount is not wide enough. So probably put the steel struts on either one so it can bridge the gap between the studs, screw into that, and then mount the TV on those struts, and I can slide this over. We're going to do that in both locations. So right now, kind of at a standstill until I get that, but sound is here, all that stuff, video is here. The main thing is hanging the TVs, relocate the cables in the ceiling, and then we're done. So I will be back tomorrow to tell you, well, to pick up where we left off at. I gotta go to the store and get some supplies.